First of all, I want to congratulate all those who were very much active in developing the software, and the application will also be out in a month's time. I want to recognize the CEC Finance, who played a very big role in this, the Chief Officer Finance, Chief Officer Transport, Vipul, from the Department of Transport, and everybody else who was involved, TechBees and their team. Indeed, the e-parking is very important for us because it has it'll kill two birds with one stone, let me put it that way. Mariam is very much interested in the revenue collection and the finances, and I'm sure that's what she'll come and speak about here. But we in transport and infrastructure, we want a solution for the motorists and also the collectors. There was a huge conflict between the two. A lot of times I get complaints from the public that the collectors are not there to be seen, and when they come back, they find their cars clamped. This was a headache for us because we didn't know how to determine which cases were true and which were not. 50% of the time they were, and 50% of the time they were not. In this case now, you will control your own destiny. You will be your own collector, and you will be your own payer. Also, in the clamping side of it, we have had cases of people breaking clamps. We've had cases of people being clamped unfairly. I think this will also solve that because clamping will be virtual. You won't actually have a physical clamp in your car when you don't pay your 100 shillings. What will happen is that next time you come to pay for your parking, you'll find that you need to pay for your unclamping of 2,400 before you pay for your clamping. So you'll never be able to park again. The only time you'll be physically clamped will be the time when you don't pay for your unclamping. So that's the time you'll either be towed or you'll be physically clamped. But we want to, as much as possible, not inconvenience the citizen, so that the citizen can go about their business. Even if they are clamped, they still have their car to run up and down. My main concern is not actually as much as the revenue is important, but my own main concern also is that in as much as the parking is a money-making department, but it shouldn't be. It's actually to manage the traffic within the city. A lot of times, especially in the early, I think in the 1930s, when the first person who invented the machine the coin machine for parking, it was done with the intention that they reduce the number of cars that come into the city. That is what the parking is supposed to do. But then, you know, our city being a city, you have to come to town. We would opt that it's to discourage you to come to the city, but to encourage you to use public transport. The public transport in our city is not as orderly and is not as good as we would like it to be, because of very many years of probably bad leadership and also many years of the bad system of government. And now that we have the devolved governments, a lot of things, I find a lot of things easier for us to do. We have a study right now on public transport that we intend to unveil very soon. And probably have a BRT so that majority of the citizens can use public transport instead of using private cars. And for us to, if me and you and everybody else can meet in those public spaces, then also socially we will have a beautiful city where all of us can interact, and that's where we want to go. Currently, if you drive around town in all the junctions in Mombasa, we have over 500 traffic surveyors right now. You'll see them wearing a red bib. They'll be there for the whole week. These guys are taking traffic count on every junction and every roundabout. We're trying to count how many cars pass each junction. So it'll give us, we'll be able to make a decision on whether some of the roundabouts in town need to go, where we need to maybe change it to traffic lights. We're also going to determine whether the lines and the routes of our public transport that we want to propose. I've written a letter also to Kenya Power and Lighting and also the National Ministry of Transport to find a way where we can remove all the power poles in the middle of the road so that we can be able to have that extra lane for our bus rapid transit system. This will be a nice air-conditioned system, bus, and comfortable and easy, and with a dedicated lane, so that it'll take you almost 5 to 10 minutes to get from home to your place of work, hopefully, if it works. The other things that we have in store for you in as far as the electronic e-parking is that we want to move to e-everything, so that your city is completely a cashless city. We're also introducing an intelligent transport system whereby everything will be intelligent, from the traffic lights, from the street lights, the PSVs. The PSV in a month or two will go the same way. We have a lot of, every month you find big queues at the assembly there, people paying for their monthly sticker, the matatus and the tuk-tuks. Very soon also we'll have a similar thing where everybody can pay cashless without coming to our offices. So when that happens also, it will be another feather in our cap. You've seen all the work that the county government is doing, the traffic marshals on the road. Since the traffic marshals on the road have come in, your travel time has reduced greatly. It used to take us over 1 hour just to get from our homes to the CBD. Now it's taking us 15 minutes. So those are the achievements that we've made. Of course, there are some things that we haven't done, and we accept that. But there's some things that it'll take time. There's a process, and hopefully we'll get there. We also have done a lot of work on the CBD. We have changed the look of the city from the footpaths, which it's a process and we're still ongoing. Hopefully by 2022, the entire city will be red carpeted for the pedestrians to walk. You've seen the city is looking brighter with the new paint. Every shop is now required to have an LED light outside so that the citizens can walk safely during the night. You've also noticed that there is a little bit of more order. The Department of Transport and Infrastructure recently also managed to mount cameras on a vehicle and went around the entire city and took 3D images of the entire city. We've uploaded that to Google. And right now, it's one of the only cities in Africa where you can have a street view of the Google mapping of your city, and you can drive around the city in your computer. And if you don't believe me, you can try it. The fire department has improved immensely. We used to have a response time of half an hour to 1 hour. Right now, we're achieving 8 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes in response time. We want to even get better. We've increased our fleet for our fire department. We've devolved the fire department. We used to have it only in the town. Now we have a fire department in Changamwe. We had one in Likoni. We have one now in the north, around VOK there. We want to increase it to all sub-counties, hopefully. By the end of this year, we have increased the personnel. We have undergone, our firefighters have undergone training. And hopefully these are the things that the county government will it keeps doing to improve the lives of its residents. Of course, the public relations between our officers and the citizens, that needs to be improved. We realize that. We want a situation whereby anyone in uniform must be able, the citizen must be able to go up to him whenever he has a problem. There are many cases where the public are scared of even going to complain to anyone in uniform. So the public relation and that exercise will be ongoing and will continue. And we will, as much as possible, try to make Mombasa a better place, a friendlier place for the citizens to live in and improve the relationship between government and the citizen. Thank you very much.